Is the obsession with Kawhi's decision more about Kawhi or LeBron?
You shed a tear, Luke and Lord. Who didn't? Who didn't? All right, let me go back to this. This is entirely about Kawhi Leonard. And it's an age-old attribute that Kawhi Leonard is highlighting right now that we all are envious of and we all beg for. This is not about the chosen one. This is not about LeBron James. This is about Kawhi and redemption. The reason why we love Kawhi Leonard right now, and the reason why there is an obsession about Kawhi Leonard is the redemption story. Being exiled from one of the most storied franchises in the sport, being labeled a pariah, a problem, outcast, exiled to another country to play the game of basketball, and then gets on a team without star power, really, Kyle Lowry, but we know how he is in the playoffs. And Kawhi Leonard stays silent through that process and climbs that mountain, leading that pack that never could get over that hump. And now we're obsessed because we're all sitting here as human beings knowing we're flawed, knowing that we all wear different uniforms to try to cover and hide those same flaws. And this dude showed the mental toughness and the physical capability to get to that mountaintop. Now, what does he do? Because he has power now, because he's activated all of us and all of our issues to say this is the face of someone who was flawed, who's redeemed himself. I would love this to be about the king, the chosen one, but it's not. It's about a guy who climbed the mountain that we're all trying to climb, and now we respect him to the fullest.
I should be sitting right there because I'm right between you two. It is and it isn't. It is about LeBron in that people are hoping that Kawhi Leonard is not LeBron James. They're hoping that he's not a guy who abandoned franchises. They're hoping that he's not a guy who's into the glitz and the glamour, doesn't need to join star teams, that he can do it by himself. And it isn't in that this isn't so much LeBron, it's about, can we really believe that any player is who we think they are? Because that's what he appears to be. He appears to be his own man. He appears to be a guy who doesn't need LA or the Lakers or Showtime. He appears to be all that. And if he goes to the Lakers and joins LeBron, it's not so much just about LeBron. It's that, damn, who is Kawhi Leonard? Like, we'd like to think he is who we think he is, which is not LeBron. But ultimately, if he goes and joins LeBron, then we don't know who he is.
This is where I disagree. Young and Restless is better than.
Stop that.
That's what I'm.
Don't do that.
Victor Newman. I think Victor Newman is still on there right now. Okay, he's been there 40 years. So that's where you messed up the first time.
All right.
But I think both things can be true about LeBron and Kawhi. I think that I don't know if Kawhi's team did this on purpose, but it's worked out in their favor. And what I mean is that if Kawhi makes his decision on Sunday or Monday, he gets wrapped into the KD, Kyrie, Clay, and it's a footnote.
This past
Sunday, when everybody else kind of made their decision. By stretching this thing out, that's all we've been talking about is Kawhi. Well, going into free agency, we knew it was going to be big, but we didn't know it was going to be like this. Everybody wasn't going to wait to see where Kawhi went. It was all about Kevin Durant and really Kyrie, okay? But I love the fact that your point, we don't know who he is. Will he stay? Will he go? We built Kawhi to be this guy, this mysterious guy that doesn't talk. What's his attitude like? He doesn't need to be around other people. Kind of like Giannis. I don't want to go play with anybody else. I want to go get mine because I'm going to get mine, okay? So I hope at the end of the day for Kawhi, and I'm not going to say that he can't be, I don't think he's going to be more of a footnote because he's taken a franchise that couldn't get out the East, and he's won a championship, and he did it without superstars. So where his greatness will ultimately be, it's too early to tell. But I think he's setting himself up to do something special. That quiet demeanor, if he stays and they continue to be successful, can be a legacy for him.
You're arguing he's really elevated his brand over this past week by playing it this way, and he's become more than I'm perhaps giving him credit for.
I mean, think about the news cycles. That's all we're talking about.
Yeah.
If he does this on last Monday or Tuesday, it's done.
Right.
But the whole time this is like almost like Will Smith. You knew on the 4th of July for a period of time Will Smith was going to.
Here
comes a movie. You were anticipate. This whole time we've been waiting for Kawhi. The whole time.
The real beauty of it is he hasn't had to say a word.
A word about this is free advertising and marketing. You cannot pay
it's
for.
It's the Marshawn Lynch School of Marketing. Huh? Say less, and actually have more impact. And it's amazing. LeBron's universe is beyond basketball. That's where his greatness is. On the court, let's just be real. 28, 9-9, we get it. No playoffs. Now you got AD. A lot of speculation of what this team will be. It's not a team right now. It's top heavy. So it's not just LeBron. His universe is, okay, on the court, still great. But off the court, I have tremendous impact. But that impact doesn't really cross what Kawhi is in terms of brand or in terms of what he desires. So I just can't see LeBron having that reach. He may become a Laker, but it's not because of LeBron exclusively.
I'll say this. If he goes to the Lakers, I'm less interested in Kawhi. If he stays in Toronto, I'm less interested in Kawhi. I'm just going to be honest with you. If he comes to the Clippers, I'm fascinated.
And I want to say that. I agree.
And because,
yes.
Is it because of, if you know what he can do in.
If he comes to the Lakers, he's second fiddle behind LeBron.
Right, but you saying that in Toronto, you already saw what he could be in Toronto. But with the Clippers, what really attracts you? What really makes you say that him going to the Clippers, you have more
the
intrigue?
biggest laughing stock in the NBA history.
Bam.
And he would be declaring war with LeBron, and I love that.
Bam.
And so I think those things. I think the Raptors are a nice little story, but they're not an American story. Some people still, Kyle Lowry, and there's a dude, Van Vliet or whatever.
Dude made big shots for the title. You know what I mean?
For most people in America, they don't even know who's on the damn team. Siakam, Ibaka.
No, I get it.
Can I just, for me, if you go back to Toronto, the chances are you won't have that same success. Let's just be real. You would bet against them winning another championship.
What?
No. You would bet against them.
No.
You would bet 29 other teams versus that one Toronto repeating. I would. I don't know what Vegas is saying. Repeating, yes. So
back-to-back or just winning
back-to-back.
Okay.
So guess what? Now you're in a situation, even if we do win another championship back-to-back, what's the impact in Toronto in terms of what we just did? It goes from joy to relief. Because once you win one, then the pressure's on you. And then if you win another one, they're going to say, we got another one. I don't think you move the needle in terms of impact. The impact is with the Clippers. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Clipper fan. It's because you did in Toronto what you can do in L.A. with the Clippers. You go to L.A., you win one, guess what? It's 17. Like, you're just going to get kind of lost in that shuffle. So I think in terms of impact, it seems the greatest.
By the way, after you pounded the table, now I know where that earthquake came yesterday. Are you more, and I'll throw this to all three of you, are you more interested in the Nets now?
Yes.
They have Kyrie Irving?
No.
Yes.
Kevin Durant?
By far.
No.
That's my point.
No.
I feel as if Kyrie, I'm intrigued, but Kawhi going to the Clippers, it would be more like, okay, now let me see. I don't know if it's going to sustain my interest. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. If he goes back to Toronto, they are the favorite for me to win another title. And if he goes to the Lakers, they are the favorite.
I'll give you that one.
To win the next title. But I think wherever he lands, I think it's wide open, and they are the favorite. And for him to go back there and to win 2 in a row for the Raptors, let's consider for a second the history of winning a championship with the Raptors and how that turned the NBA and the sports world on its ear. To do it back-to-back there, I think that carries a lot more weight than
But it's the Cleveland situation for LeBron. You did it once. Okay, they didn't do it again. But doing it once seems like that's enough for that market. Toronto, that's enough. If you give them another one, I just don't think it's gravy. I just
Air's
think
out of the balloon.
Yeah.
So let me ask this quickly. My contention is the way that he plays and his personality, I think it's going to be impossible. I really believe for Kawhi Leonard to be in the discussion as one of the 10 best players of all time. An all-time great. Again, I see him in that Havlicek lane. And maybe Havlicek was never as good as Kawhi, but Kawhi ain't won an MVP yet of the regular season. do you think, is there a way, do you see Kawhi ever putting himself in the conversation with Kobe and LeBron and Magic and those guys?
I do. I think it's still early because he has so much more to accomplish. I think this year he answered a lot of the questions that were out there. In particular, could he really be that dynamic of a player to lead, to win? Coming out of San Antonio, the thing about it was because you were with Ginobili and Duncan and Parker, we saw bits and pieces of you kind of dominating, but we didn't see it where it was all about you. He still has a lot of growth, I think, in his game to grow. Will he be ultimately in the top 10? I think it depends on how much more he wins, how much more he improves. Personality-wise, Bird didn't have a great personality. He wasn't flashy. You know what I mean? But
he had a personality. That was the hit.
And he was a face of racial inequality.
But here's the thing. But he wasn't a dynamic. He didn't. He had the smile or the personality of a Magic Johnson. He didn't have the flash of a.
Talk smack, Jim.
He talked a ton of smack.
I know. But I'm just saying. But he wasn't of that ilk of those kind of guys. And I'm not saying that Kawhi is, but everybody's not going to be built like that.
Sure.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.